Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is part 2 of the Swing State series, and we're going to be discussing Minnesota really quickly. So at the moment, we have Biden at 43% of the vote. In aggregate, Trump slightly under 41. So we can see once again, Biden is reaching some kind of floor, and Trump seems to be getting a little bit of a trouble. Emerson, I think we can kind of disregard that. Not that it matters, because then Trump would go up to 42, Biden would go up to 44.5, so you still have that 2.5 deviation. However, doesn't really particularly matter. Decision Desk has a new poll, new aggregate that basically has Trump winning by, I believe, 0.1. So we have to take that slightly into account. So 2016, 2020, Biden won about the state by about 240,000 votes. So that's quite a margin. The entirety of that victory margin, however, comes from Hennepin and Ramsey County. So that's St. Paul and Minneapolis. That's the margin of victory. So, as you can see, it's also quite easy for a candidate to be on the ballot. So we have everything here. Libertarians, Greens, Independents, Alliance, and all that stuff. So the only thing we've seen here is that Joe Biden basically picked up all the stragglers. Trump improved slightly. A lot of libertarians switched from their protest votes of Gary Johnson towards Biden. Some Greens did as well. So, as you can see, what Hillary Clinton won the state, remarkably close. This was a 1.5 point victory. This is the closest Minnesota has been since Nixon won it. So it's a particularly important position. McMullen got 1.8% of the vote. This is basically, well, your neoconservative kind of guy. McMullen used to be a Republican, part of the Congressional Research Study or some bullshit like that, and he just flipped out because an anti-war Republican won the primary. So that's why he ran off. That's 1.8% of the vote. That would have gone to Trump otherwise if he didn't run. So that would have been Trump winning Minnesota. Greens, 1.2. Legalized marijuana, got about 0.4. You had Constitution Party. Basically, there are a bunch of lower-end parties. That doesn't particularly matter. As you can see, Minnesota, it's quite easy to get on the ballot. And what we can see here is also not just the Wikipedia aggregate, which has it at Trump winning the latest polls. McLaughlin is a Republican internal. However, I'm not sure if they are overestimating Republicans in the state of Minnesota. I haven't particularly seen any polling for them in the last 4 years, so we couldn't really analyze it. What we can see is that if we calculate third-party candidates in this, so we have Kennedy, Cornel West, Jill Stein, we can see that Trump is getting the lead, which is a more accurate representation of what it's going to look like on the actual ballot. So yes, I think Trump has a shot at winning Minnesota. However, I don't think it's going to be a 50-50 chance. I think it's going to be more of a 1 in 4. So there is a 25% chance of Trump winning Minnesota. Now, here we have Minnesota. This is a 2020 result. Let's just adjust the turnout. Turnout increase was 11.3%. Now I can do decimals here, so I'm just going to say 12%. Easy, right? Biden wins by 265,000 votes. And now it's statewide 260, whatever. So, there are territorial regions in the state of Minnesota, and I wanted to focus on 3 of them. So we have the Iron Range, which is Cook, Lake, St. Louis, Kuchining, Itasca, Aitkin, and Carlton. This, I don't think, this entire state, 12 points, there you go, 260,000. Let's do this again, because I think Biden won the region. There you go. That's the reality. Biden won this region by 6.3 points. So, that's 13,000 votes overflow. Simply put, you're not going to find a margin of victory here, because you need to get 260,000. So, that's not something that we can look for. The next region is the Southeast. So that is Houston, Fillmore, Mower, Freeborn, Steele, Dodge, Olmsted, Winona, Wabasha, Goodhue, and Rice. Trump won this region by about 5 points. There's about 300,000 votes here, and overflow of 16,000 votes for Republicans. So this is particularly a region that Trump needs to campaign in for two reasons. One, this is a particular region that can vote Republican, and you can get turnout, which would help you with winning this particular vote. So let's say this region shifts 10 points towards Trump, and that's possible. So now we have an overflow of about 48,000 votes, and you can see Hennepin and Ramsey still overperforming the state. So now we have Biden winning by 230,000 votes. The second reason why this district is, or this region is good to go for, is because you may have a chance of getting rid of Angie Craig, who is representing this particular section of district. So she has Dakota, she has Scott, she has Rice, Goodhue. That's basically her district. And maybe some parts of Hennepin. So if you want to get rid of her, that's a good place to start. So that's another Republican seat in the House. The most important region, however, of course, is the Twin Cities. So you go from Chisago, Isanti, Sherburne, Wright, Carver, Scott, Dakota, Washington, Anoka, Hennepin, and Ramsey. Biden won this part by 20 points. As you can see, the overflow here is almost 500,000 votes. So this is the region that you need to focus on if you want to win the state of Minnesota. There's no way around it. So let's say this entire district wins, of this entire section goes 5 points towards Trump. As you can see, there's still 120,000 votes that Biden needs. That's where Hennepin comes in. Hennepin, margin 320,000 votes for Biden. Ramsey, 130,000 votes for Biden. Hennepin is, technically speaking, slightly more towards the right than Ramsey is. So this particular county, that is the county you have to vote for. You have to look for. So let's go back, reset the state. Adjust the turnout again, right? So now we have this, 260,000. Let's say Ramsey or Hennepin. Let's say we can get this within 20. So we shift. Fucking hell. Let's reset county. Adjust turnout. 12% up. Go here. This system is kind of broken time to time. So see, that's what the problem is with this fucking thing. Right. I don't know what is going on here, so let's just reload the page. That's just how this works for some reason. So we have this. Hennepin, I'm going to say, let's say we get it in 20 points. Biden plus 2. And the only thing we did is shift Hennepin towards the right. Let's say we get Ramsey and shift that so that it is a 40-point victory for Biden. You're almost there. So that's how important this particular region in the state is. So there's another theory for the state of Minnesota. See, we have reset the state. We take everything up the turnout again. That if you were to win all the Republican counties, so this will be a while. But the theory is in question that Republicans need turnout in the rural parts of the state. Okay, let's test it. So we only take the Republican counties, and as you can see, it is going to be about Trump plus 20, maybe 22 in terms of margin of victory. Trump plus 22.3. So let's say this entire region goes 10 points to the right. An overflow of about 500,000 votes. Guess what? Biden still wins by 3. So the county to investigate here has to be Hennepin. That is the most important county for the state of Minnesota. And if you want to win that particular state, Minnesota here, you need Hennepin to be within 20 points. And then you have Trump winning by a relatively comfortable margin. So, how can you get Hennepin within 20 points? Well, that's simple. Biden, because this is nothing more than a turnout advantage game and in 2 candidates. So this is just not going to calculate Kennedy in it. So what you need to do is you need to get Kennedy to take away roughly 20% of Biden's vote in Hennepin. I don't think that's going to happen. So I think Minnesota, there's a chance of victory, but it's relatively slim. Hence why I said about 1-4 margin. So that's Minnesota. There's not really much in terms of counties to discuss. I think next up we're going to do another easy one, which would be Wisconsin. Then I'll do Michigan, then I'll do Pennsylvania, I'll do Georgia, I'll do Arizona, and I'll do Nevada. Because those are relatively easy to discuss on how Trump would get a margin of victory. But I also wanted to take into account Illinois. I want to take into account New Jersey. I want to take into account New York. And I think another one that might be important would be... I don't think there's any other. So I heard about Virginia, Minnesota, New Jersey. I did hear something about New Mexico, so maybe I'll do that one as well. Not that it really matters. Thank you kindly for watching. See you next time. Cheers.